later, we're still riffing Dan Schneider jokes.
We're trying to come up with the Dan Schneider, the name for the Dan Schneider one-man show that he's gonna do that will rebuild his career, save his reputation. He's gonna do a tour. It's gonna be like My Big Fat Greek Wedding, right? Like he's gonna do a one-man show, and the Tom Hanks gonna produce the movie about him being a hero, and so we're trying to come up with what is the name to the Dan Schneider one-man show. So the best one I had in my head was "Suck the Head of the Class." So which is wonderful because I think Jared is the only person I know in existence besides myself that remembers him from Head of the Class or even remembers Head of the Class. So yeah,
a touch above the waist.
Yeah, exactly.
a touch above the waist.
That might.
I touchy. So, I touchy no looky, or I looky no touchy. Something like that. All right. Hey, we're here to talk
Touched
about
by
Star
Angel.
That's already taken, but I like
Just
it.
touched by Angel, not touched by an angel.
Okay, fair enough.
Just Angel. She was a prospect.
Hey, everybody. Welcome once again to Fine I'll Watch It, where today we're talking about The Acolyte. If you couldn't tell.
There you go.
Star
Wars, you know?
Star Wars. I'm apparently still Christios.
Yeah. I'm fatty. I'm fattios.
It's our producer just like, shit.
I forgot it.
It's all good.
It's
all
okay.
good. Dude, we haven't even talked about the show we're talking about yet.
Doesn't matter.
So,
yeah.
Again, I'm Christiosa. That over there is
yeah, you can call me Fat Juan.
Fat Juan.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, yeah. What would be our Jedi, our Sithy names? So Darth Ginger.
Ginger. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd still be Christy because you got to have that one guy who has that obviously
not
Star Wars universe name.
And I'm Dan.
And I'm Dan.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care what's going on, Christy. Get the shuttle. So, cranky old 120 Harrison Ford comes back and Han Solo's coat. It's just his bones in a vest.
Great.
And
just grumbling. Where's my pot? Give me my plane.
I'm too dead for this shit. So.
Anyways, yes, we are reviewing the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte. Make sure that you like, subscribe, all those things for all these things, and we'll watch them together. I know Kopp is very, very excited for this.
Look at that face. Look at that face.
Can we just start? Can we start with this is the worst title ever? Like this is one of the worst titles ever for anything. I keep cracking the joke on 30 Rock. They did a movie called The Roger. And like the joke was, God, that's a horrible title, and nobody could say it. So the name of this show is Star Wars: The Acolyte. Is it Acolyte?
Acolyte.
Acolyte.
So you do realize that what probably is going to be out at the end of this year, maybe next year, is a show called The Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, that ain't good.
You know what that's going to be?
Man, and that's going to be our final wrap-up of this, if you make it all the way through this. Star Wars. Why are we here, and how do we get out? No. I don't want to point fingers. I don't want to, do the blame game or anything, but how did Star Wars get to this step, and how do we get fucking out? And I'm looking at you, Cowboy Hat, because you seem to know what the fuck. I don't know his real name.
Dave Filoni. Even when you do his name, you never say his name.
Dude, if Dave Filoni was taking care of the Gaza Strip right now, we'd have no problems. He understands the lore, and so he'd be able to move the right people into the right location.
Which is hilarious to me for this reason. Dave Filoni's been big about promoting this, doing interviews with cast and crew and everything else like that, and director and everything. His name's not in the credits.
No. He doesn't have anything to do with this.
He has nothing officially to do with this series.
He has a specific time, basically, in Star Wars that he's fucking with right now, which is the 5 years after.
He's supposed to be overseeing all of Star Wars, so I find it odd that he's not even listed as an executive producer or anything on this series. It's like, nope, his name's just not there. He's not.
Well, because I think this is. I think that this is a big swing for them because they're going someplace completely different, which to me, I didn't hate this. I thought that a lot of the stuff
Oh.
was very refreshing because I don't fucking know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Most of the shit
Fair.
that they're producing
Fair.
in Star
Totally fair.
Wars, I know what the fuck's going to happen. They're all prequels.
Yeah.
They're all in between some bullshit. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of know how it's all going to work out. Okay? This is one of the
Yes,
first
true.
ones that I really don't know what's going to happen.
The only thing we know is where it ends up because this takes place 100 years before Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
We know where it's going, but still in that where this particular part of it goes and what their official
Yeah, yeah.
storyline between now and the end of those 100 years, we don't know what Star Wars officially is going, or Disney is officially going to do with this property. So.
Right. But all these characters could just die of old age in the amount of time.
I think
You know what
all
I mean?
these characters
Exactly.
could die by the end of this series.
They could die by the end of this series.
Yeah.
We don't know that. This is not
Yep.
some, we talked about the Clone Wars in this one thing,
Yeah.
so we're going to fucking make all that. Like, there's nothing, unless you read some of the High Republic books, which still take place actually long before this. There's only one character that we see from that. And Yoda is probably going to show up in this series
he's
because
not.
he's around.
He's not. The
said no?
director confirmed that he's not in this.
Okay,
season,
well,
so.
that's a big fucking miss. They should definitely have fucking Yoda in it,
They-
for God's sakes. But,
Well, the only other character that we know of that could officially make an appearance in this is Darth Plagueis,
right.
based on the timeline of all that, everything like that.
His head didn't look tall
Yeah, yeah,
enough, though, to be
I-
Darth
my-
Plagueis.
Oh, do we want to go around
know.
and say just our general feelings about the Star Wars Acolyte?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure yours is going to be long, so you could go last. So I'm just going to go first
Okay,
and
thank you.
say that I though I will admit some of the dialogue was a bit choppy for me. It felt very Star Wars, and when you go back and watch the original trilogy, except for fucking Obi-Wan, who's fucking trained Shakespearean fucking actor, everybody was a little choppy. It wasn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, George Lucas is known for not writing the best dialogue, you know what I mean?
No.
And
No,
his
dialogue's
dialogue
shit.
was very simple, and I think that is something that is a good, refreshing thing about Star Wars sometimes. There was a lot of stuff that felt very Star Wars to me. And maybe this comes from reading the books, but like the High Republic people, they felt very, as they should have been, they haven't dealt with a real threat in a very long time. Like I say, the stuff
Yeah.
that they deal with in the books is mostly not, first of all, not Force users. It's other kind of enemies, even the big enemies that they have. And it was like, you saw that look where it was like when the chick did some Force powers, they were like, oh, well, we don't have to fucking fight it. We're all the Force people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't fight against other people with Force powers. So it was surprising. And I liked some of that stuff. I also kind of like, how they gave you the little bit of like, oh, is this the same person? Are they dual, it's twins or whatever. But they leave me at the end of that going, well, who's really the good one and the bad one in this? Like, you just don't really kind of know. I feel like there's some good mysteries to it, and I really like the fight scenes too. I thought
the
it
fight
was
scenes are
fucking amazing.
excellent,
Some of the
especially
best Jedi fight scene stuff that I've ever
They
seen.
don't go with lightsabers. Like, we're going to make real fight scenes that don't necessarily involve lightsabers.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes, Trinity pulled out a lightsaber at the beginning. That was just basically to cut down the knives. Then
Yeah,
to-
there's been a couple. But
as it was stated, to go for the kill. So, but no. My feelings on this is I'm enjoying it. There are problems with it. It's not so much that the dialogue is whatever the dialogue is. Star Wars dialogue, as Jay said, has not been very great in general.
Always rough.
And I'll get to it more when we talk about the episodes, but like, I like the second episode more than I like the first episode. There's reasons for that they'll talk about, but it's the storyline they're started with is a lot more basic than I would have hoped, just the underlying storyline. But like the other stuff that around it, the fact that they fucking A. God damn it.
that Jay Walker.
There you go.
I'm dead.
Dan S. Dan S.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dan S.
that
Stands for Skywalker.
that the Jedi are basically space police is a
Yeah.
fun thing to see, And
which also leads to why they were trying not to be that in the prequels.
yes,
too.
yeah.
It's like, oh,
that's something
this is
had
why
to
we
change.
shouldn't do this.
Yeah. But yeah, so the underlying stuff and everything like that, and the things they're setting up, I'm enjoying. So like I'm kind of middle ground, more on the higher side.
Right.
I'm more willing to see this through because I do enjoy what was put before me. So
I feel like I might eat these words, but I do feel like, yes, the storyline feels very, very basic right now, but I think that's on purpose, and I think it's not.
no, it is. But I'm saying we're talking about these 2 episodes right now, and that's
Yeah,
I don't know if
and
it
a
is,
lot of Star
but-
Wars, a lot of good Star Wars shit is simplistic. Like there's nothing wrong with being simplistic. Yeah, my overall for this is I'm glad this is taking place before even the prequels, because I can justify it in my head as saying, oh, this is before anything got interesting or cool in a galaxy far, far away. Because everything about this show so far has been like completely pointless or lame. I can't find anything I like about it yet.
And that's fair.
All
2
right.
stars.
No, and James, Darth
Yeah, 2 stars.
Ginger out. No, and that
Ginger, please.
and that's fair because it's supposed to be taken from a time frame where the Jedi are the be-all, end-all of enforcement, of power.
Why is everybody holding their goddamn lightsaber like a wand from Harry Potter? Fucking, like everybody is holding it like this in the first 2 episodes. Like they're gonna fucking Sithiosa. Like fucking just like I don't know. Like at one point they use it as a flashlight, and I was just kind of like, God damn.
Okay,
Like,
that's actually been shown in the Jedi
Okay.
Survivor series.
It was also what Luke did in
Empire.
when he went into the cave and fought his dad. So
It's like this thing lights up. I'm gonna use it as a legitimate light source. No, it's a thing.
let me tell you something. If I had a fucking lightsaber, I would never turn a light on in my house. I would walk through my fucking house with a lightsaber,
cigarettes with it.
and I would see everything through lightsaber glow.
yeah.
Everything. I'd probably murder everyone that was near me on accident, but worth it. Worth it.
Worth it.
Well, then, do we want to go on the stuff we don't like first, and we can go into like the stuff you guys do like?
Yeah,
about it?
sure. Go
right.
for it.
I like that James likes
First off,
nothing about this.
And I would like us to talk about like Star Wars in general and like how we kind of got here, because it's like feels weird. One, the lack of imagination just across the board. The ship designs and the world designs and just everybody's design is fucking lazy and horrible. Like the ships they're flying around and like it look like Tonka trucks upside down, just painted silver. Like it's just really bad. The music is really bad.
You wanna hate something more about that? None of those are new ship designs. None of them are new.
So they took the worst ones there were, and we're like, better put them in our show.
Do you remember how pissed off people were though when the prequels came out and all those ships looked more badass than the ones that were from 20 years later? I'm betting they were remembering that when they were like, we can't make these ships too badass.
I had a different take when I was actually excited that all the ships looked really smooth and nice for the promotional stuff for Phantom Menace. Because in my mind, I was like, oh my God,
prosperous.
the galaxy was at peace and everything was working the fuck out. And then within 20 years of one fucking empire running it, we were at Moss Landing, like our Mos Eisley, fucking just doing whatever.
That's right, the famous Star Wars place, Moss Landing.
Moss Landing,
it's where the Catalina wine mixer is.
Of vile people in all the world. The music for this just exists. There's no shot, scene, or action sequence in the first 2 episodes at all that are of any remark, like of anything remarkable or interesting.
What?
They just
not even the fight scenes for you.
Okay, nope.
Not even
just
the fight
let
scene.
him
Like,
talk. Let him talk.
I just want to clarify. I just want him on record. I
Yeah,
want him on record.
We're gonna need to cut this so we could get another 5 million views on TikTok.
Exactly. And why does the one Jedi guy look like one of the boy who's from the Jim Carrey Grinch movie? Like he looks just like him, and I don't think he's wearing makeup. So then he's got an issue.
It's a girl.
No, he's referring to Yord.
Oh, Yord.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's referring to York.
Look at him with the hair. He has
Hair.
the exact same hair as the Who's from Whoville.
Okay, fair enough.
In The Grinch. I seen it.
I seen it. Yeah, okay.
It's a,
He does look a little bit like he was on the like straight up Disney Channel.
And then we kind of get into the main story of this thing, which is twins. Which I don't hate the twin concept because it's very Shakespearean. It's
very Star Wars.
A lot of the big.
Yeah.
It's very Star Wars. Very like have those big, mythical sort of themes.
Mm-hmm.
Not that anything else in this fucking show was interesting or mythical, but that was kind of interesting. So yeah.
Do you think they're going to do the dyad thing too? Do you think they're?
I think they're absolutely doing
the dyad thing.
I think that's exactly
sure.
what whoever our mystery villain is after.
Is after them because they're a dyad. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Which would
I'll
be why Palpatine later would understand that he needed it too.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll give my thoughts on what I think is happening at the end, but yeah. Go next. Me go next. I'll go next. I didn't like. Okay, so the trailers and everything like that. Talking to people talking to me about the show prior to coming out, and I was like, for some reason, they're surprised when I tell them straight, like, this is an opinion. Carrie Ann Moss's character is going to die at the beginning of the first episode.
Yeah.
Not an opinion. These are twins.
Yeah.
Like, nothing in the trailer hid any of that. It didn't outright say it, but didn't hide any of it. So, it's negative that, yeah, it's like it was obvious and everything else like that. But I mean, going slightly positive, was happy that they got it out of the way in the first episode.
Yeah. At least the shit that was obvious in the trailers.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
We got it all.
Like that, I thought that scene should have been bad. She's stunt casting, but it's good stunt casting. Like I don't fucking mind. Like it's literally the badass. It's fucking Trinity from the Matrix. Let's get her in here. And so it's like that is smart stunt casting, but I don't think they used her that well. Like it just isn't. The fight scene wasn't interesting, and the death. If
that fight scene was awesome. Bigger, what are you fucking talking about? The way that she got killed
without lightsabers. Somebody took out a Jedi by using their goodness against them.
She's a female assassin. She only makes 70% of the male assassins. She only had daggers, all right? She's going to get a gun soon. She's got fucking 4 payments left.
She's supposed to kill
4 payments
she's supposed to kill
she can get a gun.
Yeah. I liked that, and that's something, this is a uber nerd thing, though, is the way that the Sith get their red lights, the way that they canonized it now is the Sith get their red lightsabers, they have to kill. Now, I never heard that they have to kill them without a weapon. That might be specific to this master, but they have to kill a Jedi, take their lightsaber, and then they bleed the crystal. So they bleed the crystals to turn them red, and then Ahsoka has the white ones because she healed it or whatever. And so but that's how the Sith get it. So I liked that. It was like she's not using a lightsaber yet. She's got to prove herself. She's got to take a lightsaber. I thought she was going to take it at the end, which I think was they were giving us nerds like, oh, why didn't she do it? Oh, this guy's got an extra thing. She's got to kill him without a weapon.
I don't think that's what it was.
What you just said is more interesting than anything that happened in the first
literally
two
what
episodes.
happened.
But it did happen.
What happened in the first
they just didn't tell it.
They literally cut away to Jay saying that scene. I would have been more entertained. Like just cut to you saying that because that's an interesting thing.
You need that pop-up video shit for this show.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's what's going on. Oh, okay. Oh, that's what's going on. The other thing I didn't like is that I could talk about the fire in space, but whatever. That's just.
I mean, it ain't the first time they did that in Star Wars either. So
no, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. I just like. In my head, I was like, you can't have that, but whatever. I'm just.
What are you talking about? The fire in space?
In the first episode, when they're out
when she's out there and they're
working
gonna
on
put the fire out.
The shield generator.
No. And everybody's bitching about that. You guys are bitching about the wrong thing. The thing you should be bitching about is the lack of imagination in the whole outfit. She's got the Star Trek Next Generation boots. She's got the fucking helmet from 2001. Not one original thought or new idea. Just like copy and paste from other shit.
Did you notice that they canonized R2-D2 as a Mexican? Because R2-D2 took her job. They can't have those fucking jobs anymore because the goddamn
the Republic said.
Yeah, because the Republic says it's too dangerous. We got to put those R2-D2s out there.
Yep.
Took their jobs.
Well, her whole character is kind of like just a mess.
I
you know,
didn't
it's
say
like,
it. Fucking Star Wars said it, man.
I
It's in
got that. I got that.
episode.
But it's like you're from a blown up planet, and you might be force sensitive. You might have these certain powers, and you work as a mechanic outside of the spaceship while it's in flight. And it's just like, okay, that seems very weird. If that plays into something, sure. So maybe she does a bunch of stuff walking out on there.
No,
but
I think they were
what I
just
was more
trying
shocked-
to. I think it was just a subtle little thing that they were trying to give us that was like, hey, look at, these R2 unit things are new. And they're starting to,
Okay.
you know, the droids are starting to take the place of a lot of like these human jobs. You know what I mean? I think it was really actually a comment on AI. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. And so I think it was a comment on AI, and I think it was a comment also on how far back we are, how, you know, and that other droid, a couple of those other droids that are are much more primitive. Like you got in Jedi Outcast and stuff like that, you got the little cool one that can go in the backpack, and you got your BB-8s, and you got your shit like that. But now she's got this, basically this little Walkman, you know what I mean, that she goes around with. That's got a fucking Doctor Who sonic screwdriver.
It literally is a sonic screwdriver. It can do anything you need. The plot needs it to do.
Sure. I also liked the idea.
But that's
I
also,
the idea.
I was okay with the little robot. That's also Star Wars.
I know.
Like,
I have no problem with the Pip Droid. I'm just saying that it is more sonic screwdriver than anything that's ever been done in Star Wars before. My thing with it is like, okay, it can do all these cool things, and then it had the fire suppressant. It's like, how the fuck did you fit fire suppressant in that small of a thing? Where is that coming from?
Bro, they could just compact it.
It's like, we won't find a lot of logic in the Star Wars.
There's already fire in
friends,
space, bro. Like this is where you're going.
No, I know. The whole thing is like, all right, whatever.
The Wookiee language, Han and Wookiee's every conversation, you were fine with that shit. Like, you know, it's like the logic's gone. It's fine. It's how well is it used. It's
high fantasy.
You know,
we can jump all the way to the end right now and talk about Wookiee fucking Jedi. I was so excited about that. I can't wait.
I found it a little bit of Wookiee face. Like he had the stash on and stuff. I was like, oh, because all Wookiees wear that. You pieces of shit that never saw a Life Day celebration in your life. You fucking rat bastards.
That's right.
Stop talking about non-canon events.
Yeah. It's all non-canon until it's canon, and then it's not.
See, but
canon
all these
again,
little
whenever
things.
they want it to be.
I loved all these little things. I loved the little robots. I loved the thing that they had on the dangerous criminal that made him hallucinate until they could let him loose and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Starro thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved.
That was interesting.
I loved her taking it off and him freaking out and fucking her over.
Running
you know what
away,
I mean?
just running
like
away.
you know, there's so many little Star Wars things that I think I don't know. Maybe it's too deep cut Star Wars, like you had to, like I don't know. Maybe they were too subtle with some of it, where they should have been much more.
I was bored to fucking tears. The entire time I was watching this. So it's just like, I'm glad you guys liked it more. And even like again talking to you guys, I'll lighten up a little bit in the idea that I don't know where it's going, and that is nice and refreshing actually. Nothing.
I only had a slight problem with the fact that the second half of the first episode was literally we copied and pasted The Fugitive.
All of it is.
But she got caught by force powers.
No, I know she did.
Yeah,
I know she did. But it's like here, take The Fugitive. We're just gonna do that.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know, like the whole main story, the whole revenge, and there's it felt very V for Vendetta to me, like by the second episode, which is,
well,
but my thing is like, if you use it well, I don't give a shit. Like, and there's only 5 or 8 storylines in the whole goddamn universe, so it's like, whatever you're gonna rip off from, Star Wars is nothing but a montage of ripped off other things. Are you going to use them well? And so, these first 2 episodes, not for me. Nothing was used well in the first 2 episodes.
My other main complaint is I have a theory that they're going to be going more into it, but like, you didn't really establish much about the Jedi Order in this time frame in these first 2 episodes. You kind of hinted that okay, well they're definitely galactic peacekeepers. There's Jedi stationed at different outposts in the galaxy and everything else like that. That's how they work. But like even back at the temples, like they didn't spend much time on that aspect of it.
No.
And that was something that they were talking about and pushing towards. Like we're going to just explore more about the Jedi and everything like that. Except not yet. We'll just still wait on that. I was like, okay.
I do like the concept of that these 4 Jedi that she's after, like they did something bad. They're not letting you know what the fuck that was right yet, but they did something bad, and each of them seem to be dealing with, like Carrie-Anne Moss's character seemed to, feel justified in whatever happened. You know what I mean? She kept going. You know what I mean? Feeling justified. That second guy. Like, let me just say for a second, that guy looked like a girl in bad guy makeup.
Okay,
was I wrong?
No.
Am I wrong?
Do you want me to tell you who the actor was?
Who was it?
The one who played Tommen in Game of Thrones, which is the youngest Stark brother.
Okay.
No, he literally was a younger person in bad makeup.
No, the younger
brother.
Brother of
but because
Lannister.
Because they cast him for his younger look, because when they do the flashback or backstory to them, it makes more sense for when he looks like in real life. But they did the shittiest makeup job on him.
Yeah, he just looked like a guy in bad makeup.
Yeah.
It looked like a girl actually in bad makeup. But the fact that he was obviously riddled with guilt, you know what I mean? Willingly took the poison, and that the conversation between the two of them, hey, you got to find this one's weakness. I thought it was interesting. That was very interesting to me. You know what I mean? Like that I know that this one is the guilt is the problem with this one, and will willingly take this poison if I give it to him. You know what I mean? Like that, not expected. And the Wookiee seems to be, anger and solitude. You know what I mean? Or just
he Yoda'd himself.
Yeah, he Yoda'd himself. So I mean, I like those concepts. I think they're interesting. To me, it got me excited for everything. Like again, I did have issues with some of the stilted dialogue. That was definitely my biggest issue with this, but everything else, pretty much, I was on board. I was on board.
But what you guys are talking about here is like the first act.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Everybody's in.
Let's talk about who a couple other people is, because this girl in the middle, Jackie, Jackie. That's what?
X-23 from
X-23. Yeah. What's her name?
The one with the little horns on the side of her head.
That's Daphne.
That's her. That's Daphne Keane. Yeah.
And then someone else too. There's someone else in it that I'm missing.
She's
well, the person
who
plays the main Jedi is from Squid Game.
Squid Game, but
who literally learned English for his role.
Oh, and the girl who plays the twins played the little girl from Hunger Games that died.
Okay.
His acting's stale as shit, so it looks like he just learned a second language. Like it's like he does nothing in this fucking show whatsoever. So yeah, enjoy the paycheck.
His is all looks, and that's
sure. We'll go with that. We'll go with that.
No, because like even when he brings up May for the first time and says there's a twin, he has this look of like he's choosing his words carefully to explain who that is. And
what you guys like about this show is a great first act of a story.
No, it is.
And this, how long did we just give this first act?
It was an hour and 45 maybe.
No,
hour and 45 minutes altogether.
Or an hour 15,
maybe
an hour 15
each, yeah.
Maybe an hour 15. So.
Okay, let's go. Let's do a slow ball. Hour and 15. That's just a long time to give us a first act, and I was not as impressed as you guys on like what they were giving us with this. Jared has said 5 more interesting things than there is in the first 2 fucking episodes. I could make an argument that you should watch this show instead of those 2 episodes. So. That's how I feel about the first.
And that's fair. Like I said, there are problems with this. The story we don't know what the story is. So for me, and I think for Jared, is that
fucking hour and 20 minutes in, we don't know what the goddamn story is.
Well, we do know what the story is.
We might have a fucking
no. We don't know what the official story that there's through lighting to the end. Hey, what's up, Jedi Jesus?
I love that one.
Jedi Jesus.
Every time, bro.
Jesus was in here raving.
Beat back those demons.
No. What
Dan Schneider presents.
What I think we're giving it leeway on is that we don't know really what's going to happen by the end of this. This is pushing for the bad guys are supposedly supposed to win. So okay, cool. We may see the bad guys win. We're gonna see the Jedi be fallible. All these things is like hasn't happened in Star Wars before. I haven't seen in Star Wars before, so that it's better than Secret Invasion's first hour 20.
Yeah. It's better than Ahsoka's first hour and 20.
Yeah.
So
It's better than Ahsoka.
Congratulations. We did it, guys. We did it. You're better than Secret Invasion.
There you go. Hey, baby steps.
the pilot episode to Ahsoka.
Baby Yoda steps. That's what it is.
The pilot episode of Ahsoka, which was basically a filler episode between the end of Rebels and the beginning of Ahsoka.
I liked the Book of Boba Fett better than the first 2 episodes of that better than this, and that's not a good sign.
Especially the second episode of Book of Boba Fett wasn't the greatest.
Yeah. So moving forward, you guys have said again far more interesting shit than's in the first 2 episodes.
Hold
of
on
this
just
show.
a second. I want to talk about
Things we
still. I think that a big difference between the two of us and you is we both really enjoyed the action scenes. I really enjoyed the action. I really liked that first fight.
Talk about it.
I thought, yeah, they were obviously making her do fucking Matrix shit because she's the Matrix chick, and I thought it was cool watching her chop the things. Again, I really liked the way that resolved. I really liked the fucking one with Sun and May. The one between Sun and May I thought was great. It was very Soul. That's his name.
It is Sun, but it's Soul.
But you know, just the way that he was, you know,
well, he wasn't fighting. He was
defense.
feeling her out the entire time.
It was the Jedi way.
Yep.
You Jedi defend, you know what I mean? Like I really liked it. And he just was so badass. He's like behind her. He's like, no, like you aren't on my fucking level. Like, you know, and then she's trying to fight him without a weapon. Not working out, obviously. I thought that was a really great scene. I also really liked, again, that scene with the ship crashing. You know, and the escape from prison, you know what I mean? I like the concept of the droids, you know, those pilot droids turning back into the chair. That was cool too, you know what I mean? Like
Dan Snyder experience chair.
That's right.
Think you're sitting in a chair, then all of a sudden some arms come around you.
Except for the head would be on the seat instead of up in the back like that.
Suddenly you're starring in a Nickelodeon show no one will ever hear of. So.
Dan Schneider liked the massages, so the girl
didn't...
would be the chair, I think.
Yeah, exactly. But she's going to be a star of something no one will hear of. It's great. I actually cracked a joke to myself while watching the first fight scene, going like, Star Wars, an intergalactic space opera where you can do anything you want. Let's start it with a knife fight. Like, I was like bold and daring to just not bring in anything interesting or cool and do a fucking knife fight. Like, that's what it felt like.
They justified it later why it was being done that way, but what I think we enjoyed about it is it was a fight against a Jedi where the Jedis were like, I don't need to fight you. I'm going to protect the people around me, but I don't need to fight you because you, as Jay said, you're not on my level.
Beyond all that.
It's like okay, look, I'm just stepping out of the way of your moves because whatever.
Beyond who it was, I just thought it was well choreographed and a cool fucking looking fight. You know what I mean? Like it was up there.
I think Carrie-Ann Moss is just that good. Like I think she carries a lot of weight in that scene more than anything else. Where it's kind of like I think she was underused in the. I'm sure everybody would like to see her more in the show. No, she was stunt. She was stunt casting. They were always going to have her in one episode, and she was going to be an important role.
She'll be in more than one episode, but she won't. But that'll just be explaining what happened.
They'll de-age her.
She's gonna Qui-Gon Jinn us?
No. They're going to talk about what happened.
Yeah,
with
they're
going
to tell that story.
So they're going to show the 4 of them back when that happened. So her character is gone. That she's not coming back or anything like that. Her character's gone, but she herself will be in more episodes. Probably just one more episode to explain what happened in the past.
And we'll get it episode.
What happened in the Viva Vendetta story?
Sure.
When they were all being experimented on. Got it.
But I'm sorry, but yeah, but no. So I mean, there were things in that fight which was pointed out. Another thing, which is that Carrie-Ann Moss, like when she stopped May from stabbing her in the face, it was pointed out that she didn't. All she stopped was May herself, and May realized that the blade wasn't stopped, which is why she was able to flip over to the other hand and try to make the stab still. Because Trinity wasn't stopping any of the actual weapons until she stopped it from hitting the bartender.
Did you just call her fucking
Yes,
Trinity?
I did. I've been calling her Trinity the entire time.
I've been drinking.
That is her Jedi name. Her Jedi name is Trinity, whatever the last name. Master Trinity, whatever it was.
Yeah. Master
I think
Trinity.
it's Trinity Winity. I'm pretty sure her last name is Winity.
Yeah, exactly.
They named the character. I just don't care about it. It's just Trinity. It's Master Trinity.
Yeah, fair
All
enough.
right. Well, shall we rate these 2 episodes? I assume we should just rate them together.
We rate them together?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Because I was going to rate them individually.
Okay,
I'll
do it
go first
individually
'cause I'm
if
like
you
the
want.
boss.
It's fine.
It's out of 7, Kopp, because we're doing the Kyber
Oh,
crystals.
7 is lightsabers. That's right.
Yeah, Kyber crystal lightsabers.
Oh, if it's 7, then it is getting a 2. So like it's getting a 2.
2 out of 7 for
2
Kopp.
out of 7 Kyber crystals.
For the whole thing. Yeah, that's pretty good for you, Kopp. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
It takes.
honestly, again, it would have been 1. If it was 5, I was gonna give it a 1. But he said 7, so I give it a 2. You made a good point. Like, I don't know what's happening next, and I sat while I was drunk sitting here. I was like, I have no idea where this fucking show is going. I get they're doing fucking a knockoff of V for Vendetta, so there's gonna be a big fucking reveal of some evil secret, and then the person we think is going to be bad is going to kill the really bad people, but then everybody will die and one hero will live, and they will walk off into the dual sunset. And so it's like, yeah, that's probably what's going to happen.
All right. Well, that may happen. We'll see. We'll see. What happens.
So if we rate them individually, I was going to give the first episode 4 and the second episode 5. So I'm just going to give it 4.5. Which apparently is just the Kyber crystal without the lightsaber. So,
well, that would be more because it's 7.
Yeah.
So what are you going to give?
4.5.
Okay.
Right there. 4.5 for the 2 of them together. Like I said, there were things I enjoyed. I enjoyed what it looks like, what they're setting up, and everything else like that. These 2 episodes, not strong, but for a Star Wars property, better than some of the things we've gotten of late in the past couple Star Wars properties. Because most of the rest of Star Wars properties have been based on nostalgia. Obi-Wan, based entirely on nostalgia. Ahsoka, for those of us who know Ahsoka, based mostly on nostalgia.
Big time with all that, like they did a lot.
And people, I didn't like Endor, but people fucking love Endor. So it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Endor,
it's
the story of Wicket.
Yeah, exactly. Endor, the story of the planet near that fucking moon. So that fucking is sick and tired of people calling it the planet. It's a planet. It's its own planet. You know about the forest moon, you bitch. So
the Endorians are pissed at they think that they're all wicked. Ewoks. I'm a fucking Ewok.
They're like, we have a strong economy here. Would you know how much grain we export? So much we could have saved the world in Rebel Moon.
That Gaza Strip up of that moon.
The Gaza Strip is right in between.
Which they stole from our fucking moon.
Yeah. Dude, the Ewoks have a right to that land, goddammit. Right. So I don't care what you think or feel. The Ewoks have a right to it.
All right, look, I'm gonna give this a fucking 6.5. I loved this.
Okay.
I'll give it the half off just because of some of the stilted dialogue that it was still very Star Wars for me. I liked it. I'm excited about where it's gonna go. I kept kind of being like, oh well, this is gonna happen. Oh well, this is gonna happen. And a lot of times it kind of did because I'd seen the trailer and stuff, but it always had enough of a twist for me to go, oh, okay, well this could be this now, and it got me excited. It's one of those things where it's like, this week after these 2 episodes, there are things that I saw that I'm excited to see what happens next week. I want to see that fucking Wookiee with a goddamn lightsaber in his hand. I will be disappointed and give marks off if that does not happen next week. But I also want to know who the fucking bad guy is. I want to know which twin is the good guy, the bad guy. I want to know what these fucking Jedi did. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's a lot of things.
I will say that I am the person out of this group that did not like these fucking first 2 episodes. If you're watching this, And the idea that this might be the only Star Wars that we've had in a while where we don't know the beginning and the end. Because like Kenobi, we know the beginning and end before we get to it because we've already seen the films around it. We've already seen the films around The Mandalorian. We've already seen the films around the Book of Boba Fett. So then it becomes
and Ahsoka.
we kind of and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So we already kind of know those.
Yeah.
We have no the fuck idea except that people were really into Harry Potter like way before Luke was born.
We just know that 100 years from now,
Yeah.
somehow Palpatine took over.
So,
100
A
years
boy
from
is
now,
born.
Anakin's
Yeah.
mom is gonna lie about the night she met up with that rock guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know it.
we know.
All right, thoughts and speculations
Yeah,
going forward.
Yeah, what do we think it's going to?
Okay, so I think that I think that it's a red herring. I think that OSHA is going to be like more the
actual
evil one.
twin.
Or possibly they both just go evil. Like the Jedi just fuck up enough where it's like they both go evil, they become the power, and they take down both the Jedi and the bad guy at the end and become the new masters. This dyad
Is
of
there
masters.
anything in the Sith lore about two twin sisters being high, like Sith?
No, but this story has not been really written. So
Sith
Okay.
lore at that time still is there are only two,
Mhm.
a master and
Okay.
a master and apprentice. What May isn't necessarily being groomed to be a Sith per se. I mean, she is an acolyte, which an acolyte in the Sith. I know.
Terrible type.
It's acolyte in the
Fine,
acolyte
keep
in the
going.
Sith lore is basically
God damn it,
a
I'm
warrior
drunk.
for the Sith belief, but not actually one of the actual two Sith that exist at any given point in time.
yeah, because I don't know. This could be the birth of the rule of two. Because I think previously before this, when there were now Sith haven't been around for a long time, but when they were a lot of them.
No, Sith is the general thing, but the actual there's two main Sith.
But like Force users. Sith.
even Old Republic was two.
Old Republic, no. If you go to the Knights of the Old Republic, there was definitely a lot of Sith. There may have been a master and apprentice, but they were still training Force users to use the dark side.
i.e. the acolytes.
Yeah, right.
No,
right.
I'm saying of the Sith, who was considered Sith, so the Darths, there'd be two at any given point in time.
I don't know that that's true. I think it was different.
Dude, had she bled out the person to get the fucking Julie Jewel in the lightsaber, that would have been cool as fuck to see.
I think it's gonna happen still. I think that's.
I don't
hope,
think she knows
here's
that.
what I hope going forward. I hope going forward, your guys' enthusiasm and what you think is going on pays off.
So,
Because what I saw was I gotta watch fucking 5 to 8 more hours of boring ass shit with lame ass knife fights with dumb ass characters with fucking makeup haircuts. Like I was like, oh god damn it, this is gonna be horrible. So I'm going forward. I hope you guys are fucking right.
James, it'd either be the most gimmicky thing in the world for you or something you'll end up enjoying. There will be a lightsaber whip.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited for. Oh, we didn't even talk about Bernestra.
I don't mind that. Like, make it work. Make it work. I like Kylo Ren's fucking dumb thing.
Okay, so check it out.
I know everybody hates it.
Let me throw my thing first. So there is a cover up. These four, to my opinion, there is a cover up. These four found these two twins and realized the power that they could possess. The four know about the Sith, and they made this plan where they themselves convinced one of them to burn their village down, and they made sure everybody was dead, and the intention was to separate the two of them. They did not kill May, but they figured May, just like the separation of Luke and Leia, would be kept secret and nothing would ever be found out about it. And whoever our mass villain is found out about May and took her in because the Jedi being the great things. Well, she's not on the record anymore, so nobody kept paying attention to her. They only paid attention to Osha because they took Osha in, and the reason that she was initially accepted into being trained as a Jedi was to keep an eye on her and to try to manipulate her into going this one path in hopes that whatever prophecy vision that they had wasn't going to come true.
Fair enough.
Now, who the...
It's still a little too V for
That-
Vendetta
that's-
for me, but
that's
it's like,
fine.
like if it pays off well, I don't give a
But
shit.
the other part of it that I don't have any idea on is who the actual masked person is and what the overall goal for them is.
Right.
Are they actually trying to take down the Jedi, or are they actually trying to do something else with this power?
Yeah, because there has.
Well, if it's straight up, what's fucking the guy from the opera's name, Darth Plagueis or whatever. If it is Darth Plagueis, he figured out immortality, right?
And it was hinted. It was hinted in the. Is it terrible as Rise of Skywalker? It was hinted that it was caused by the dyad somehow.
Yeah.
Which is why he had Kylo and female Skywalker, Rey Rey Skywalker.
Well, that sounds great. I would love to get there. Before we get there, could we have some cool space battles and fun Muppet characters and crazy shit? And
it's coming. It's in the trailers. It's coming. But yeah.
One other thing that we have to
History.
mention, though, is that there is a character from the High Republic books that shows up in this. The bald-headed green lady, Vernestra. She's actually a big part of the first High Republic book. She's a Padawan, turns Jedi Knight right away. She's the one that creates the lightsaber whip, and yeah, I'm real excited to see that. So
and she's 100 and something years old.
Yeah, she's like 130 years old or some shit.
You geeky motherfucker! I have never heard such a thing. So I'll take your word for it. I have no idea who that character was. Like I have no.
6 more weeks of this, James. 6 more weeks.
6 more weeks.
Nice.
Well, one off because we're gonna have to double up.
No. There's 6 more weeks of the show, but we'll talk about it only for 5 weeks because we aren't coming in on the 4th of July.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be eating hot dogs and shooting fireworks.
Blowing shit up.
Yeah, and waving my
legally.
lightsaber around.
Claiming talking about our American rights to blow shit up.
That's right.
I know. Damn straight. That's American.
American.
Yeah,
I'm American.
I'm proud to be American. I was born into it, and I did nothing to earn it, and it's my right.
You should be proud.
Like the most interesting thing about me is something that I had nothing involvement in to make happen.
Be happy your mom.
And that's what I'm proud of.
Squirted you out right here in the red, white, and blue.
Jesus, God damn it!
All right, guys. And on that note,
Dip them fries in motor oil.
we'll see you guys next week right here on Final Watch It for episode 3. Make sure that you like and subscribe. And until then, I am Phat J. Walker.
I'm Dan S.
I'm fucking Joel Ginger.
Don't.
Bad British accent.
God damn it.
Don't do it. Don't.
Yeah.
It's a hate crime. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.